What's good? What's cracking? Welcome back to the Queendom. It's your girl Irene, the Passion Queen. You are in the building with me tonight. Welcome in. Where we talk about life, love, sex, and everything in between, with a heavy focus on BDSM and about our community. So as you see, it's just me up here today. It's just gonna be me. So it's probably gonna be a shorter show because basically I am going to be recapping my time at Sex Down South. If you don't know what Sex Down South is trying to make sure I get my little information on all that kind of stuff so I can make sure I tell y'all right. Y'all see how big this thing is? Anyway, that's the side point. Um, Sex Down South is a sexual health and wellness conference that focuses heavily on the BIPOC and LGBTQ plus IA communities. They have actually, this was their 10-year anniversary of the conference. It was started by two, uh, I'm almost 100% that both of them identify as women, but just in case, by Tia and Marla in 2014. Um, they're the co founders of it. And this was such an amazing experience. It was fulfilling. It was interesting. It was entertaining. It was educational. Um, it was all the things, you know, all of the things that you could possibly think of when you think of a conference, but in a fun way. Because sometimes you think of conferences and it's just like it'd be like it'd be a whole lot. And this particular conference was a lot of fun. Sorry, hold on one second, y'all. This particular conference was a lot of fun, and I will honestly say it was like nothing I've ever experienced before. And that is taken into consideration that I went to Exotica a few years ago. Um, yeah, it still was nothing like Exotica. Two totally different experiences. If you don't know what Exotica is another. Exotica is more like sex industry expo in the sense of you get to meet a whole lot of like cam girls, porn stars, like you get to meet some of your favorite OnlyFans people, all that kind of stuff, right? Uh, and they do have some seminars because when I was at Exotica a couple of years ago, I did um, I did a seminar on erotic communication. So it was a lot of fun, and that was very interesting in itself. But this was a completely different experience. So for the first 2 days of the conference, they had a film festival where they premiered a couple of different films. One that I got to sit in on was called um, Kink Saved My Life. And they only showed us about 10 or 15 minutes of that one. But I genuinely cannot wait to see that completed film. They said once this is done, it should be probably like an hour or so long, I think. But it was very interesting because everyone in the film, of course, is talking about how kink, sex work, things like that saved their life. Um, and they're talking about the impact that it's had, the freedom that they've been able to gain from it, from the lifestyle, and all that other kind of stuff. And so it was very interesting hearing the point of view of different individuals, especially there was two individuals, um Goddess Amina, no, Goddess Jessie, sorry, Goddess Jessie and her partner, and I apologize because I cannot think of his name off top right now. Oh, maybe I wrote it down. Hold on, I think I wrote it down. Because yes, I was a nerd and I took notes. I was a whole nerd and was taking notes the entire time. Yeah, Goddess Jessie and BK Singleton. Um, they were very interesting because they were the complete opposite of what you think of when you think of kink and BDSM. Um, and I absolutely love that. I love the fact that they were definitely not what people typically think of when they think of kink and BDSM. They were a lot softer side of everything was very sensual and sultry with them versus I guess the roughness and dominant and like aggressiveness. That's what I'm looking for. That most people think of when they think of BDSM and kink. So it was really, really interesting. What's popping, Mrs. Smell Good, what's going on? Um, and I got to meet a couple other people. That's the only thing that I caught that day, which apparently I missed out, I guess you could say, because they actually recorded a porn scene in one of the other sessions with Eli the Naked Trumpeter. I was like, well, goddamn. I was tired though. I was very tired that first day because I had got up, drove over, started doing all the things, and then by that time I was like, all right, I think I'm done for the day. But they shot they did shoot a porn scene while at the expo or at the conference. So I thought that was extremely interesting to know that something was shot there. Also, if you don't know who Eli the Naked Trumpeter is, he went viral a few months back for talking to a guy on the street. It was one of those, stopping people on the street, asking them random questions. And I think the question was like, what's the freakiest thing you've ever done or something like that. And he was talking about how he gave his own self head. Um, so yeah. And by the way, I ended up talking to him for like a good hour and a half after a panel that he did. He is such a dope person. Goofy as hell, but very much a dope person. Um, and a lot of these people that I got a chance to connect with and meet, um, I will be bringing on the show. I'm already in the process of getting several people scheduled slowly but surely. Um, I have a professional film dom, our dome, coming next week. I know in the past we've had professional doms come on the show, but they were male. So this is going to be a film presenting dom, and I am super excited about it. Super duper excited about it. So that was the first day. The second day, I sat in on a preview of a video from Black Touch, BLK Touch, which is a black ran porn site. You do have to have a subscription to it. But if you follow them on social media, that you can see the quality of videos that they like to put out. Um, and in like judging it based on what else you see out there in the world, especially when it comes to how black people are presented in the foreign industry, I love and respect the quality of videos that they put out. They're not cheesy. They actually have great cinematic presentation. Like the way that they shoot the videos, and he talked a lot about how he does the like how he and his partner shoot the videos and stuff like that in the uh in the like after we previewed the show or previewed the video that they showed a segment of a video that they did with Sir Marvelous, who is a professional dom. um I follow him on social media as well. uh he and his partner, I think that was his partner if I'm not mistaken, um and he had her chained up like baby, chained by the ankles and the wrist, and was going to town on that ass. You hear me? I was like, everybody, if we could all just be so lucky, Jesus, that would be amazing. Uh, yeah, I said it. uh, so we got a chance to watch. They showed a good chunk of that video. I think they showed a good 20, 30 minutes of that video. And then, of course, there was a question, question and answer segment. So a lot of these question and answer segments, I was able to record. So I haven't decided if I'm going to post that here or if I'm going to post it on my Patreon account. Um, it most likely will be on my Patreon account. Uh, yeah, I'm almost pretty sure I'm probably going to put it on my Patreon account. But all of that, of course, is linked in my link tree, which should be in the caption below or in the description below. So just click there, scroll down, find the Patreon, go ahead and sign up. Um, so it was really dope to sit back and like hear them talk about the process of how they shot, um, how they come up with the different concepts for different characters or different actors or actresses. Um, and because they were saying even sometimes they don't necessarily have a full idea of what they want to shoot, so they typically tailor things, or sometimes they tailor things to basing on who they're shooting that day. And they talked about a lot of different things, and how they got to the point of wanting to build the site and all of this, and that was really dope. That was really interesting because across the board, representation matters. You know what I mean? So it was really good to see and hear their concepts and thought process behind all of that. So on Thursday, now baby, Thursday was the day everything went crazy because Thursday was the first full day of the actual conference, and I went to just about everything that I could try and attend. Um, I attended Kundalini a Kundalini session with sensual chakra enlightenment. Let's see. I went to the dungeon ethics and etiquette class. I did not sit in on that. I went to the booked and busy class. Um, I went to another class called Explore Your Fantasies and Write Your Own Erotica. That particular class was very interesting for me. Being someone who already writes erotica, who's already published some books, it was very interesting with the lady who curated that class and like presented that class, mainly because apparently like erotica is not her main like thing. She's also been a journalist for a long period of time and she's done a lot of other things, but erotica was not her main thing. And the samples of work that we saw that she did were light erotica, I guess you could say. Very sensual erotica. There we go. That's better. That's a better way to put it. So it was interesting. Part of me wonders if I probably should have checked out something else during that time. I can't remember what else was going on during that time though. That was during the oh yeah. It wasn't anything else that I just was super intrigued in checking out. Especially with the way that they had some how they had some stuff split up. Now, Thursday night was the night of the fucking fistathon. You heard me correctly. And that is I'm not saying it that way. That is the title of the competition because it really was a competition. It was called the fucking Fistathon. Now I went because I'm intrigued. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all finna just have people lined up and going to town fisting them and everything. And if you don't know what fisting is basically inserting your whole hand into a crevice of somebody, whether it's vaginally or anally. Typically, though, it's one of the two. Um, and I've seen videos of it. I've heard of it, never experienced it. And so I had to go because now I gotta see this. You mean to tell me it's an opportunity I can see this with my own two eyes? I gotta go see this shit. I have to go see it. So I got in there, and everybody just kind of standing around talking, kiki, whatever the case may be. Now, keep in mind, like I said at the beginning, this particular conference is catered and geared towards. What up, Devlin? Keep in mind, this particular conference is geared towards the BIPOC community as well as uh, the LGBTQ plus I, right? So I would say anywhere from probably like 95 to 97% of the people at this conference are black or some form or a person of color, right? Keep that in mind as I tell the rest of the story. So I get in there, and this particular portion is put on by the Sexual Liberation Collective, and it's in the dungeon. So uh, they basically took over one of the ballrooms and turned it into a dungeon. If you've never been inside a dungeon, typically it's a play space for people who practice BDSM and kink. And typically there are uh, tools, apparatuses, furniture, all this kind of stuff that is already in a dungeon for community use, right? They just ask you to make sure you clean up behind yourself properly, so forth and so on. So in this particular dungeon, the way they had it set up, they had like a wax station. They had like four St. Andrew's cross. They had like three or four spanking benches. They had two swings. They had a section. K Simone, what up, girl? They had a section where if you are an exhibitionist, but maybe you don't want everybody like actually looking at you, they had it where you could like stand behind this curtain, but this light was facing you. So it gave like the silhouette of what you were doing. They had another harness like situation set up if you wanted to tie somebody up and suspend them. Baby, they had a whole bunch of shit up in there, okay? Just a whole bunch of stuff. So we and then we standing around talking kiki and whatever the case may be. I see a couple of people I'd have met over the past day or so. And so I'm talking with them and they get started. They tell us what the rules are. So they have a sticker system. There's a sticker if you want to be fisted. There's a sticker for if you want to do the fisting. There's a sticker if you just like, I don't listen, I don't know. I'm just here to watch. I'm here to learn. And then they had another sticker and it was like, baby, I'm a pro at this shit. And the goal of the Fistathon was to collect as many silver star stickers as you can, right? How do you collect them, you may ask? You collect them for each person that you play with. So if you are doing the fisting for each person that you fist, you get a sticker. If you are getting fisted for each person that you let fist you, you get a sticker. Whoever got the most stickers wins the prize. What was the prize? I don't know. I didn't stick around to find out. So they tell us what the rules are, and they be like, okay, so we're going to demonstrate just in case you're not familiar with it. Give you some tips on how to make it work, yada 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 yada. So the two film presenting individuals that did the demonstration were black, and the lady who was getting fisted is trying to like give all the information. She's trying to, talk through talk through all of this. It got to a point, baby, she wasn't able to talk no more. So they're getting set up. They got these like basically what look like puppy pads, but they call them chicks. Uh, like all over the spanking bitch because that's what she's leaning on because they're going to do the demonstration vaginally. Um, and so of course everybody moves around to the back where we can see what's going on, and a few of us are sitting on the ground. And listen, okay, okay, exactly. I like big men with big fists, honey. I just sister girl. But this was two feminine presenting people. So sis that was doing the fist and hand was actually kind of small. Yet still, I don't think I want nobody hold hand inside. I just I don't know. Whew, that's something we gonna have to have a conversation about, sir. But so we all sitting there, and the girl turned around and looked at us because apparently they play together on a regular basis. And she's like, "Hey, y'all might want to, scoot back a little bit because you're kind of in the splash zone." Excuse me, in the splash zone. It's a good like 4, 5 feet. It was. Don't worry about it. I'm scooting back. Excuse me. Let me. Y'all. We scoot back because baby, let me tell you the shit that would the way I would probably lose my mind if somebody's juices that I don't know flies on me. It's a reason I pay for VIP if I'm ever going out to a place. Wanna why? Because I don't want nobody that I did not invite touching me. So, you know, so so we all scoot back and she gets a shit ton of lube and she has a glove on her hand because they're telling people. Well, okay, so I'm finna say, so she put all the lube and stuff on her hand, and she starts off slow. She's like, "Yeah, you want to start off like 1 or 2 fingers and just kind of slowly work until you get like everything in there, right?" And she just going to town, and of course, the more fingers she put in there, the more the chick moaning. Because mind you, the chick who's getting fisted has already told her she's like, "I'm a godless whore who likes all of her hoes filled." I heard, okay. Her words, her exact words, mind you. So they're doing it and everything, and I literally I know my face is probably just sitting there like in full amazement because I'm watching, I can see this with my own 2 eyes. You hear me? And next thing you know, boop, her whole hand, by that girl hand was up and up to here. You hear me? The chick who was getting fisted squirted probably about 3 or 4 times. She was riding the girl hand and stuff at one point, like going to town. And it didn't take a long time. It's not like it took 30 minutes or something for all of this to take place. No, no, no. We're talking about within the span of 5 to 10 minutes, if that. And color me flabbergasted because when I say I was just sitting there like, huh, intrigued, somewhat shocked and impressed because I just, girl, man, listen, I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet. And y'all know my favorite saying. I be with the shits. I don't know if that's on the list of things I went though. I don't know. We would have to have that would have to be a whole lot of convincing. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Uh, but yeah, so they finish up the demonstration. Everybody dispersed, and people start finding places and people to play with. And me and a couple other people are still kind of standing there. And this one individual, I want to say their pronouns were they, them. Uh, that's my thing, Devlin. I like big dudes that got big hands and big wrists. I don't know. I don't, I don't know how I feel about it. But so here's the thing. The way that they had the hand is like you have to tuck your thumb in here and just looking at my hand on the screen looks absolutely crazy. You hear me? Hold on, y'all. There we go. I had the heater on because temperature is starting to drop. But yeah, so you're supposed to tuck your hand. Like I listen. I paid attention. Okay, I paid attention because I'm a nerd. I can't help it. Whether or not the information that I paid attention to and absorbed into my brain will ever be utilized, I don't know. I don't. It's like there's some things I can give you a very hard no on. Like, baby, we're not doing it. That is not gonna happen. And then there are some things I'm just like, I don't know. Like you talk to me on the right day with the right person at the right time, and I don't know. Okay, listen, okay, because chat. But she had that thumb tucked in there, and she just was. And then she was talking about how strong the girl vagina was, and she felt like she was fighting against it and shit. It was crazy. No, well, not like this. Because so they call it fisting, but you're not like balling your fist up. Uh you're like because you want to be able to like go in. I think you can kind of probably move your hand around a little some depending on the individual once inside. But going in, like trying to get it in there, this is how they showed it. They was like put your thumb towards the middle of your hand and you just doop, or whatever, right? Of course, you want to make sure you got plenty of lube. You take your time. Don't go too fast unless you're experienced. Then, balls to the wall, do what you do. So as we're standing around, there's one individual that's like looking at everybody in the group and it's like, I got a hold that you can use if you want a fist. I got a hold it. No, thank you. I'm good. I'm just here to watch. Yeah, yeah. So like, yeah. But yeah, they was like, you don't want to no, and they asked somebody else. They was like, nah, I'm good. I think I'm okay. Child, they was just well. I'm just saying, I got a free hold if anybody want to do it. Nah, sweetheart, I don't know. I don't know you well enough to be talking about putting my hand inside whatever crevice you want to share. And I say that because I know they identified as they them, but it was some other things that they said that made me a little confused on what extra business they had going on. And I'm very much in the listen. I respect your pronouns and whatever else you got going on, baby. That's between you and whoever else you got it going on with. And I leave it at that. You know, if you want to tell me, cool. I'm not gonna ask unless we on that type, like unless we have that type of community, that level of a relationship where I can ask you stuff like that. Then cool, I ask. But baby, I'm not gonna just outright ask nobody nothing. Okay, outside of asking you what's your pronouns, I will ask that. But their pronouns was they them, and I was like, no, 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 I'm good. Listen, it damn sure wasn't finna do the back door. I don't know, no, no, no. But I'm not. I'm also not sticking my hand inside a random person's vagina either. So, cause I don't know nobody up in this motherfucker. Like not a single soul outside of who I met. over the past day or so, do I know in this room at this time. It's a couple of people that I knew prior to the convention that were there, but no, no, I'm good, right? So myself and a couple other black folks still sitting around talking, and one of the girls go, "Huh? Did y'all notice that everybody that is participating is of the Caucasian persuasion?" And so we look around the room. Huh? She said, "Where are the black folk at?" Now there were two other events going on that night during the same time. There was like a talent show situation called the Little Bang that was going on. There was also a karaoke event going on too. So there during the conference, there's a lot going on at different times, or a lot going on within similar time slots. So you have an option of choosing a whole bunch of different stuff. But yeah, so it was one person of color that was participating, but they were fisting somebody. So after a while, I was like, all right, I'm gonna order me some DoorDash and go back to my room because I have seen what I came to see, and I'm good. So that was quite interesting, to say the least. Uh, to say the absolute least, as far as that goes. I don't know how else to describe it. So on Friday, what did I go to on Friday? If I'm not mistaken, on Friday, I think I ended up having a later start to the day. I did. I had a later start to the day on Friday. I went to an event called the Lingerie Sip and Social, which was really cool. It was only for film presenting people. And everybody wore lingerie. Well, most of everybody wore lingerie. I did not, and of course, because I didn't know prior to. I hadn't paid attention to what was on the schedule, so I didn't pack anything. But they didn't turn nobody around. You can come in there. So we went in there. They had unlimited mimosas. They had games for us to play and prizes to win. And we had such a good time. It was put on by what is the name of that group? What is the name? I think it's Ivy's. I think it's called Ivy Girl. Is the name of the group, but it is basically like a social organization for sexually curious women. So and whether or not you want to experience something kinky, you know what you like kink wise, or whatever the case may be. Um, all of that is basically my understanding of this group. I'm trying to pull it up because I actually just got an email from them today, sometime today, and I want to make sure I tell y'all right. Ivy's Garden. I lied. It is called Ivy's Garden, an elite club for curious women. Um, so when you join this particular club or this particular group, they also send out gift boxes once a month with a toy of some sort included in the gift box. And apparently, they do trips a few times a year. Um, Apparently, one year or recently, they did a trip to Miami, rented out a huge ass mansion, and they had different events going on and stuff while they were on the trip. So it sounded really cool, sounded really interesting. After that, I went to Honoring the Fat, Loving, Sensual Body. That class was really interesting. Um, and the person who taught it was called Miss K. And she was very transparent about, things that she had been through with her body, figuring out how to love her body, how to be sexual, sensual, and all that kind of stuff with her body. It was really, really, it was really, really interesting. Now, later that night, they had the Velvet Lips Queer Sex Club, I think is what they called it. I'm sorry, Velvet Lips Sex Ed presents Sanctuary Queer Strip Club. They had that. They had the Kink Olympics, and then they also had a content creation hour and open play in the dungeon. So I was going to the Kink Olympics, but it started late, so I ended up hanging out in the queer strip club for a little while, for actually a long while, because it was like an hour and a half later than it was supposed to start for the Kink Olympics. So that was fun. That was interesting. I've been to several strip clubs. I've seen male strippers, female strippers. It was really no different. Um, Culturally, seeing the difference, that was interesting. Seeing the difference, cultural wise, uh, was very interesting. Of course, connected with a couple of people while I was there. They were fucking hilarious. Then, excuse me, we went down the hall to where the Kink Olympics were being held, and baby, a time was had. They had they had some impact play games with, so they had, they gave away prizes for the snappiest, yeah, the snappiest impact, the thuddiest impact. And so when you think of a snap impact, you're thinking of like a whip or a crop, something that gives a quick little sting, right? When you think of something that's thuddy, you're thinking of like a flogger, a fist, stuff like that. They also had, for the bottoms, they had who could, like, they had an impact play session of who could like take the most hits or whatever. I recorded as much as I could when it came to these games. Now, there were two games that now you're not recording, and that was the pussy eating contest and the dick sucking contest. Now, they were called technically the vegan pussy eating contest and the vegan dick sucking contest, because they gave you, or you could bring your own dildo to suck on, and then they gave you peaches to eat it to simulate eating pussy. Well, as they were announcing the start of the game, it was like, or if you have organic dick or pussy that you want to do, you're more than welcome to bring it up. I said, ho ho, shut your mouth down, because I just thought it was gonna be like dildos and peaches or something. But then again, why would I be surprised, especially with everything that I have seen thus far? So the people, for I think it was like 6 or 7 people that participated in the dick sucking contest. If you know who King Noir is from Royal Fetish Films, he was a part of the dick sucking contest. He ended up with second place. That man was up there doing calisthenics while sucking these vegan dicks, right? Uh, he and the girl that ended up going against each other, like for first place, had two people up there, so it was like they were sucking two dicks at one time. And old girl was doing 69, twerking in the air all over the place. Uh, King Noir started acting like he was jacking one girl off while eating the other girl ass. It was so much going on. Like, I didn't know where to look half the time when them two was going at it. It was so much. Actually, it was so much. You follow him? So I am actually working on having him and Jet Setting Jasmine on the show. I'm actually just waiting on the reply for them to confirm this date. And I'm super excited because I have been trying to get them on the podcast since the beginning. So baby, as soon as I saw them, I made sure to connect with them. Both of them, 100% goofy as fuck too. Um, so goofy. But Yeah, so he ended up with second place. Now, on to the pussy eating contest, right? I'm sitting there waiting for the pussy eating contest to start. And a girl that's a part of the contest walks up to me and said, "Hey, would you mind holding the peach for me when it's my turn to go?" Excuse me? No, I don't know this person either. I was like, okay, I guess, because I ain't got to take no clothes off and no shit like that. So I ain't worried about it. I'm just holding the goddamn peach. So it's one, two, I think it's six people total. Two guys and four ladies, I think. Yeah, two guys and four are femme presenting individuals. Let me say it that way. So the first people, the first group, the first person goes, and they bring their partner up there. They partner had on these really cute pants, and at first they were gonna hold a peach. Well, the partner took their pants off. Hey, Tony, my Tony. The partner took the pants off. Uh, and next thing you know, the person who was supposed to be holding the peach is eating the peach, and they panties is slid to the side, and we got full on pussy eating. Fuck what you heard. So they had 2 minutes to do their performance, mind you. So we was like, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. Okay, cool, 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 cool. So all the other people, the rest of the people go. Uh, the girl that pulled me up, she ends up going last. Well, right before her, King Noir goes. He pulls Jet Set Jasmine up. They lay a blanket out. She took off the skirt she had on and her thong. She naked from the waist down, and he goes to town. I'm talking about he went from putting her feet behind her head, her riding his face sideways. She's shaking like a stripper, a $2 stripper in church. You hear me? She over there shaking. And then they timer go off. She gets up, she puts her little skirt back on, she throws her thong into the crowd, and they walk out the room. Now, mind you, these two individuals are professional porn stars. They got their own porn company. So, baby, you got to pay to see their shit. Okay? So, everybody that was in there is like, we just got a free fucking show from King Noir and Jet Setting Jasmine. Probably, yes, to go finish what he started. I'm pretty sure to go finish what he started. Child, I looked at old girl like, you sure you still want to go up here? I'm just saying, because who the fuck want to go after that? After this goddamn show they just put on. Who the fuck want to go after that? I looked at her, she was like, yo, okay. So, we get up there, I hold the peach. She damn near was sucking my goddamn finger. I was like, hey, wait a minute now, shit. You supposed to be focused on this goddamn peach. You all over the fucking place. Um, of course, no shade to the young lady, but she did not place. Of course, King Noir and Jesse and Jasmine got first place in that particular competition. Yeah, I think the other couple got first place. I mean, got second place, and it was another young lady. I think she got third place. She brought out a toy in the mid. Girl, I thought she had her eyeglass. She had on glasses. I thought she had an eyeglass case in her hand. It was the case that she keeps her toy in, actually. Child, so she brought out the toy when she was, doing her little 2 minute session or whatever the case may be. I was like, oh, y'all came to perform. Got it. Child, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. This has been so much already. I didn't see by this point, this is Friday night. I didn't see fisting. I didn't seen so much. I've seen just a ton of shit. And all of it was so much fun. Saturday, I left midway through the day. I'm trying to remember what I did. Sorry. Oh, I went to the Foundations of Japanese Rope Bondage, or Shibari, as it's better known. I did go to that class on Saturday. Such an interesting class. Shout out to Miss Rima and Slaughter King. They did an amazing demonstration. They were very patient with everybody. They took their time. They didn't try and rush and show just a bunch of different stuff. They wanted to make sure that you understood what they were showing you and you got the foundation of what they were showing you. It was really, really dope. After that, I went and packed up and grabbed my bags and met up with some friends and had lunch, and I got back on the road. Some of the things that I did miss that because I left. Uh, Jet Set and Jasmine and King Noir did have a viewing party. My homegirl Goody, she did another session. What was it called? I'm trying to find it. Do do do. Child, what is her other session? I think it was called Your Pleasure is. Oh, there it is. Your Pleasure is Political. She was the keynote speaker on Saturday. I kind of hate I missed that, but baby, I was going to get back on the road. Originally, I had a show to do Saturday night, but it got canceled. But I decided to still come on home because I was tired. I had already been traveling for the past 2 weeks. I was ready to be home. So yeah, it was. Oh, they also had Lube Wrestling later that night, and they had the closing party, which is called Big Bang with Just Setting Jasmine and King Noir. And then they had the Labyrinth after party, which the Labyrinth is what they were calling the dungeon. It was an amazing experience. I would definitely do it again. Actually, my plan is to see if I could be a seminar presenter next year. So I am currently trying to work on, because you have to like apply, I think, to be a seminar presenter unless you are already somebody who is well known and notable for doing these things. I've only done one in my time in this capacity, and that's the one that I did at Exotica a couple of years ago. But it was a safe space. It was fun. And in the conference spaces, you could walk around naked. So people walking around naked with lingerie on, pasties, titties out, everything. Child, I saw more body parts that did not belong to me than I probably have ever seen in my life in 4 days, 4 or 5 days, however long I was there. But it was so much fun. It was really dope to see people just being able to be free, be themselves, feel comfortable, not have to worry about scrutiny, not having to worry about um, going into a space and not feeling safe, things of that nature. It was welcoming to everybody, and like I said, even though it's heavily focused on the BIPOC and LGBTQ plus IA community, everybody was welcome. So definitely shout out to Tia and Marla for putting this together 10 years ago, and it's still going strong. I think it was like 700 plus people were attending. So yeah, I'm damn sure gonna be there again next year. Hopefully, y'all will join me too. Who knows? But yeah, so I just want to share that experience with you guys. So, like I said earlier, starting next week, I did make connections with a few people who I'm in the process of booking them. And I will have Geneva Bliss on next week. She is a professional dom. And like I said, I've had professional DOMs on in the past, but none that are film presenting. And I'm super excited to have her on. She also has a journal out. We exchange journals. So I'm super excited to really kind of sit down, delve into her journal, and really like see what all her journal is about. I can't wait to get some feedback from her on my journal. Um, so yeah, I'm super excited about that. And then once I have everybody else kind of set in stone, I'll start releasing that information about who else I'm getting scheduled. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.